Chapter 1. The Morning of Separation. John Hale woke to the familiar crack of his alarm clock, its shrill insistence pulling him from sleep. He groaned, reached out, and silenced it. Sunlight slanted through the blinds, illuminating motes of dust dancing in the quiet room. He yawned, sat up, and froze. His body still lay on the mattress, chest rising and falling with each breath, but above it hovered another presence, himself. Pale, translucent, and weightless, the second John watched with disbelieving eyes. "Am I dead?" his body murmured, voice muffled and distant. "No," came the other voice, serene, detached, and unmistakably his. "You're very much alive. Only now you are the witness." A whoosh of air rippled through the room, and John felt an uncanny calm. He closed his eyes and inhaled, marveling at the sensation of floating free from flesh and bone. When he opened them again, the world seemed both more vivid and strangely remote. Chapter 2. The daily routine. Observed across the corridor, the bathroom light clicked on. John watched his body, his physical shell, shuffle over, strip off pajamas, and step into the shower. He felt every drop of water against his skin, though he no longer possessed wet limbs to feel it. The hot spray steamed the mirror, and his reflection blurred. He followed, drawn by curiosity rather than necessity. In the kitchenette, he saw himself open the cupboard and fumble with coffee grounds. The spoon slipped from his fingers, the grounds scattered across the counter. He winced. "Spill isn't fatal," said his detached self. "Observe without judgment." His body ground beans, filled the filter, and pressed the button. The machine sputtered and gurgled. John, the observer, recognized each habit, the tilt of the wrist, the sigh of anticipation as the first dark drop fell into the mug. He tasted nothing, but he knew exactly how it tasted. Sharp, comforting, necessary. Chapter 3. The Office and the Inner Dialogue. Traffic roared outside as John's body drove to work. The same jam, the same honks, the same red lights, yet he perceived it all anew. He walked into the glass tower, greeted the receptionist, and settled at his desk. His office chair creaked under familiar weight. "Good morning, John," called his manager Ellen from across the bullpen. "Ready for the Q2 projections?" John's body straightened, cursor blinking on an Excel sheet. He began to speak. "Sure, our projections indicate a 10% uptick in revenue." But John, the watcher, interrupted internally. Watch the words, listen to the tone. Notice Ellen's hesitation. Does she believe you? His body stumbled over the next sentence, lacking the usual confidence. At lunch, the cafeteria buzzed with conversation. His body stirred a bowl of soup. He watched it bring the spoon to its lips and swallow, talk to co-workers, laugh at an inside joke, and felt the subtleties of social exchange, the warmth of camaraderie, the uneasy ebb of office politics. His detached self observed it all, a student in the theatre of life. Chapter 4. The Struggle for Control. By mid-afternoon, frustration seized him. He watched as his body fumbled a phone call, mispronounced a client's name, and faced a terse reprimand. His observer self recoiled. "I can do better," he thought fiercely. "Let me." But a calm voice soothed him. True power lies not in seizing control, but in understanding your patterns, in seeing without being seen. He closed his eyes in mid-meeting, focusing inward. He recalled Descartes' cogito ergo sum. He had believed his self to be identical to the thinking mind, and yet here he was, witness to his own thoughts and actions, untethered by the impulse to react. He felt an urge to dive back, override the script, reclaim authority. But he resisted. Instead, he simply watched the meeting conclude. Chapter 5. Connections and Revelations. When the workday ended, John's body returned home. The front door swung open to reveal his sister, Lily, waiting with a bright smile. "Hey, big bro. How was your day?" she called, hugging the physical John. He reciprocated, the warmth of her embrace radiating through him. He realized he was reconnecting with emotion, feeling its pull rather than being controlled by reflex. His observer self whispered, "This is consciousness in action, empathy, love, recognition." Later he tossed a ball for his dog Max in the backyard. The simple joy on his body's face, mouth open in a pant, eyes alight, stirred something profound within him. What was happiness, if not this unguarded moment of shared delight? He understood. Consciousness was more than electrical impulses. It was narrative and memory. It was relationships and wonder. It was the choice to pay attention. Chapter 6. Reintegration. Night fell. John climbed into bed, chest rising and falling, his body awaiting reunion. He drifted in the liminal space, the boundary between watcher and watched. "You're ready," the detached voice murmured. A soft whoosh carried him downward, like falling through a cloud. He felt his self merge back into flesh, the weight of shoulders, the pulse of his heart, the warmth of blood beneath his skin. He opened his eyes and lay still for a moment, marveling at being whole again. "I'm back," he whispered. He thought of neurons, of synapses lighting up in intricate patterns, but he no longer saw that as the sum of his existence. Life, he knew, was the stories we craft, the connections we forge, the attention we choose to give. Epilogue. A new beginning. John Hale rose the next morning with a renewed sense of purpose. The alarm sounded and he reached out to silence it, this time with intention. He slid from bed, feet touching the floor, and inhaled deeply. He was both actor and audience, driver and passenger, mind and heart. And above all, he was conscious, present, curious, awake. He smiled. The day stretched before him, an empty page, and for the first time he was eager to write his own story.